everybody, it's Robbi and welcome back to another episode of Miracle Mindset. I'm sitting here today with an incredibly special guest. We have the ever amazing, ever beautiful Dr. Robbi B here in the house. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Honestly, today is going to be incredible conversations. I'm excited. I have a lot to learn and a lot to ask you. So excited to get into it. But I'm going to start this episode the way I start every single episode, and that is asking our guests, what is the best piece of advice that you've ever received?
Ooh, that's a good question to start it off with. So the best piece of advice that I live by as well is that each day you need to lay a brick. So that means, just like building a foundation, building a house, you have to take daily deposits and build a brick each day to build your home, right? So that's what I do, and I know that eventually I'll get to the finished product.
That's amazing. So often we expect instant success.
Yeah.
We want to go to school and then have an incredible paying job and a huge house and a family, but it's just things by thing by thing. So that's amazing advice. This is a little curveball. What is the worst piece of advice you've ever received?
Ooh, I never thought about that. Nike, just do it. No, I'm just kidding. No, that's actually good advice, but it takes more than just doing something. You have to actually plan and think, especially if you want it to scale it or to be very big. So for me, it's like, yes, just get started, but definitely once you start rolling, learn from your mistakes and keep growing. Yeah.
I know you very well, and I would love if the audience would get to know you a little bit better, if you could give yourself a little bit of an introduction, because I don't even know where to start. So tell us about you. Tell us, who is Robbi B?
Yes, so my name is Dr. Robbi B, and I am an influencer, but a pharmacist as well. So I recently graduated in May. It was so exciting, but my journey has been very unorthodox. I came from Washington, D.C. area, and I moved here with no family to Los Angeles.
And let me tell you, it's tough.
Yes, it is. And I know you've moved from further away. So it's been a long journey, and I didn't know that this is what I wanted to do ultimately. Like, I had a creative side where I used my left and right brain. I was into fashion. I had a clothing line that did really well in Los Angeles, actually. But something was just tugging at my heart to just finish, what I started with my biology degree from Syracuse University. And I was just like, you know what? I want to go back to school. I want to heal people for a living. And I know that I could still be creative in that way. So I know that just because I was doing pharmacy didn't mean that I couldn't exercise my creativity. So then I became a pharmacist, and now I am combining the two. I'm marrying both passions, and I'm using it to teach people and add value to social media.
That's amazing. I have a huge heart for, knowing about pharmacy because my sister's a pharmacist.
Oh yes,
and so that. I'm really, interested in the health space, and of course, obviously, I'm in the health space as well. So I understand what you mean about marrying the two together, and that's kind of how I got into my social media. Was I was posting before and afters of my patients that I was seeing, like fillings that I was doing, and I kind of realized how much I was actually interested in it, and also the creative side of it, rather than just practicing and seeing patients. It's incredible that you have that knowledge, and you actually talk a little bit about some of your experiences on your social media, which is really interesting because I know I love hearing about it. What is the most challenging part of doing that for you? How do you find that you can integrate them together, and tell us about that experience?
Oh my gosh, it's been a journey because, like I said, it's unorthodox, it's not common. I think now people are starting to be accepting of it. But there's certain careers that people just want to think of that person as, this type of person.
Yes.
A doctor is supposed to be wearing their white coat, they're supposed to be not wearing scrubs, that's a nurse. Or, there's so many things that people say.
Yeah. People have these preconceived notions of what a health practitioner or provider should look like. Has that been challenging for you? Have you had people think differently of you because of how beautiful you are and how young you are? They think that you're maybe not educated, or you don't have as good an understanding of the profession as other people do.
Yeah, first of all, don't care what they think. That's my first thought, is that, I'm just being authentic to myself and to my audience, and it's obviously helping somebody. I've gotten messages every single day about how I've inspired people. So that is what fuels me. So, but yes, I do receive that backlash where it's like, what is this? What are you doing? But I know that it ultimately will make sense, and it has started to make sense, because any career, you get burnt out, okay? Especially a medical field career, you're gonna get burnt out. So you wanna have another, not only source of income, you wanna have another outlet that you can just have a hobby, you know? So what's wrong with us utilizing social media as that tool? You said that you were editing dental pictures. That before and after, that's a collage. You know what I mean? Like, you need to learn how to actually create that. And instead of hiring people out, if you become that resource for yourself, you will scale up and your business will be better. So even if you are a pharmacist, optometrist, doctor, dentist, anything, if you learn social media, a free platform, then you can actually make more money.
It's very much true. It's the best form of advertising you can ever do.
Yeah.
I remember like back in the day, you know, people would do advertisements in the phone book. Do you remember like the
Oh my God.
in the phone book or on the news or whatever it was? And now it's like you are your best resource. So when you can learn that platform like you have done, one, you can get more business, but two, you're also going to educate and inspire a whole new generation, which is the coolest thing ever. I think your page is hugely inspirational. I'm going to link it below if you want to check it out. I would definitely encourage you. She posts fitness content, motivational content, and obviously about her degree as well. So how do you deal with that hate from other people when they're coming at you and thinking maybe you're not as accomplished or you don't know as much about that field because you're a beautiful woman? Like, how do you deal with that?
In addition to not caring what they think, it's because I know I have the plaque on the wall, just like their doctor that they go to see. So I know my credibility, and so I don't have to continuously prove that. So what I also think is that, like I said earlier, the laying a brick every single day, we have to realize with each post, we're attracting a new audience. With each collaboration, we're attracting a new audience that doesn't know our story. So it is our job to recreate that story, tell them, you know, who we are, what we represent, because it's not their fault that they don't understand. You know, so if I'm in the gym and I take a picture of my glutes in my progress, you know, now I'm not a doctor. But it's okay, you know, as long as they stay on board, they'll be able to see that. So I don't get discouraged. I'm just like, oh, you know what? Those are probably followers from that collaboration I did with so-and-so or from that picture. Tomorrow will be a new day and I'll be able to change their mindset and, you know, get a new opportunity. Yeah.
She's all-rounded, which is amazing. That's what we aspire for here. And obviously that's what we love to highlight here on the podcast is people's holistic, you know, you're not just one thing, you're so multifaceted. So what motivated you to become a pharmacist? How did you know that is what I want to do?
It took a while. For example, so I went to college at Syracuse University, biology degree, which means you can do a lot in the medical space, right? It's not like I did pharmacology as an elective or anything. So basically I went home. I actually went back to my parents' house right after school and I lived across the street from a CVS, a pharmacy. And, you know, of course, like every other student getting out of college, there's not a lot of jobs out there, you know, you're looking for something. So I actually took a job at the front of the store, like a normal collared like CVS worker, right? And I knew I had this degree, but I didn't care. I just wanted to work my way up. So I actually ended up working in the pharmacy as a tech and realized like the schedule, you know, I don't have a pager like ER physicians. Like I literally go to work. I can work flexibly like 3 days, 12 hours, and I made my full week of work. And I just saw how the pharmacists were so sweet and we got to actually see patients.
So what advice do you have for people at home who are kind of unsure about what career path to take?
Trial and error, like I said before. So trying things to see if you like it, because as someone who's pursuing medicine, you're like, I want to be a doctor, but you don't even know if you like to be a doctor. So put yourself in those environments to see if that's what you want to do. Another thing would be, a lot of people don't see the benefit of schooling for so long, but honestly, it teaches us discipline. And I think once we master discipline, it becomes easier to do everything. So it was discipline that allowed me to get this far in 6 months with my fitness career. It was discipline that allowed me to finish school. Discipline that allowed me to stay consistent with my posting and staying on contract with my brand. So I think once you learn that, you know, procrastinating and being lazy, that stuff won't happen as often. So you guys, trial and error, number one, learn discipline, make it your best friend and apply it to everything in your life. And I think those are the tips that I would say.
So what would be your best advice for being consistently disciplined? Like how do you wake up every single day when you don't feel like it, when you have a million things to do, when you're overwhelmed? How do you stay disciplined?
I would say that none of us are really truly disciplined until we start to see the progress, right? Until we start to see those muscles come in or, you know, those grades get better. We're motivated by, you know, reward. So I think that that's normal and natural, but you have to actually do the work to see that. So I just always think that, you know, that little little picture where the guy is in the cave and he's...
Oh, with the diamond?
Yes, and he's almost there.
Yeah.
So I always think that even when I don't see results, like I'm almost there, you know? So just go one more day, do 1 more hour, you know, do that 2 a day, send that email. And then another thing for me is that I like to actually like get off my plate everything that I can and put it into the other person's court. Like put the ball into the other person's court. So if it's like an email or something I've been like lazy and I haven't been answering, I'm like, you know what, just shoot it back so that it's their time to, you know what I mean? On Monday, I make sure all the balls are in their court, or either I shot all my content, now I just gotta edit it, or like, you know, the bulk of the work is done and I'm good. So I can relax and now I can move on to the next thing. So just learn to adapt that mentality that you're almost there, you're almost at the diamonds, you're almost at the end of the tunnel. You know, you'll start to see the progress, and then once you see the progress, you'll be motivated and you'll just keep going. Why would you stop?
This medical degree that you did, pharmacy, did you learn a lot about internal medicine? Is that something that you applied to your life? Did you change the way you eat and drink and the supplements that you take based on what you learned?
Basically, whenever we treat a disease, we always start with preventative measures. Now, I would say like a Western medicine, medical school, pharmacy school, we kind of brush over that part of the lecture slides where these are the steps that you can do to prevent before we go to drugs. Yeah. But for me, when I was in class, I was so focused on, you know, especially with COVID and everything, it's like there's things that we can do before we get the disease to treat it. I'm not talking vaccines, I'm not talking drugs and medication and treatment. I'm saying just vitamin C every day, boosting our immune system. So I think that was my focus while I was in school. So now that's what I apply to my life. It's like if I keep my fitness together, if I keep my health and my workouts, then later on in the line I'll have better heart health. Especially as a Black woman, we are prone to a lot of different diseases. So for me, it doesn't have to happen before I act on it. And so that's what I learned from school, because a lot of people think that, you know, Western medicine is dangerous and the side effects are worse than the actual thing it's treating. And it's true, but as a doctor, we learn how to prevent those things as well.
So you really kind of got the mindset that prevention is better than cure.
Yes,
That's
holistic
great.
as well.
For just general health, what do you take?
It's so funny though, because I actually went viral on one of those TikToks, the little, that one, and I talked about what your multivitamin should have in it. So I definitely take a multi that has to have vitamin C. I usually go with the brand Ollie. It's a really good brand. Personally, I do elderberry, I do vitamin C, and I do like a multi. So I take vitamin C and elderberry outside my multi. And the funny thing is that right now I'm actually on a cleanse. It's a raw diet. It's actually making me feel so much lighter. I feel amazing.
Do you have more energy?
Yes, I have more energy.
Well, you're definitely glowing. There's no doubt about that.
Thank you. And I stopped my coffee, which is huge. What about you? Do you drink coffee like that?
Honestly, it's my biggest weakness. I mean, you're going back to getting real energy, which is definitely something I would love to do.
Yeah, so that's what I'm doing, just a 7-day reset. And then after that, you know, take it slow because you can't go back in too fast. But, you know, I love my coffee. I love supplements, so I am in fitness. So supplements are very important. Pre-workout, if you can do a non-stim, would be great if that can give you energy. Yeah, because it has caffeine with the stimulation. But I enjoy both. You know, it just depends on how hard I want to go. And then I also love my protein. Love my protein shakes.
So what is coming up next for you?
Ooh, good
I know you've got a
question.
lot. This girl always has something cooking. So share with us what you can. What is coming up next? I know you have an incredibly exciting and much anticipated course coming out very soon.
Ooh, yes, she said it. Yes, so I have a course. A lot of people ask me every day about advice when it comes to social media and being a doctor and juggling it. So I'm coming out with that very soon. This is the first place you're hearing that. Another thing is that I'm actually doing travel. I'm doing trips that I'm hosting. So I'm doing one coming up to Bali. So everyone, if you guys want to travel with me to Bali, try foods, you know, do meditation, do fitness workouts.
Gosh, I might come.
Yeah, please.
I love Bali.
You need to
That
come.
was like my second home.
Right?
It's so close to Australia.
Yeah, I had to choose between Dubai and Bali. I said definitely Bali.
I haven't been to Dubai, but Bali is insane. I love, love, love it.
Come.
Yes.
Other than that, you know, I have a podcast myself, The Dose Show, and I'm interviewing, you know, more people in the entertainment world and space because, you know, they take care of their health too. And it's interesting to see how, you know, they actually manage themselves on tour and different things like that. But that's pretty much it.
Amazing. Well, look, thank you so much for sitting down with us. It was such an awesome conversation. You have so much good advice. I appreciate it. And I'm also going to link her show, The Dose Show, beneath here if you want to hear more of what she has to say, as well as her Instagram if you want to go check that out as well. But thank you so much for being here. Aww. Appreciate it.
Thank
Excited
you,
to see what you have coming up.
We hug.
And we will see you guys very soon.